Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking into 3 vehicles that you need to buy this week in Grand Theft Auto Online due to the discounts that Rockstar is having. Even if you're watching this video in the future, these are 3 fantastic vehicles that you may want to consider picking up, even without the trade price. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Starting off, we have an honorable mention. I don't think this is something that's mandatory to buy or an incredible deal, but it is still something I think is worthwhile mentioning. And that is the fact that any high-end garage or garage in general is going to be on a sale this week. So we can see all these garages here. Well, by the time you're watching today's video, they are going to be 30% off. So if you're short on garage spaces, this is a very easy way to get your hands on some extra spacing for any vehicles that you may be getting your hands on. With that aside, let's get into these 3 vehicles. The first one we're going to be talking about is a sports car, the Karin Sultan RS Classic. First of all, the vehicle looks amazing. It has fantastic customization, and it has a lot going for it, just in the general physique and capabilities of the vehicle. Now, in terms of the sports category, this is actually a very mediocre vehicle. So why am I ranking it in today's video as an amazing purchase? Well, it's because of the fact it is the best lap time tuner car in the game. See, tuners' vehicles are in their own little category, and they are able to be used not only when participating in auto shop missions, but also when you are doing the LS Car Meet Prize Ride Challenge. So obviously you want to get your hands on a really good handling and acceleration vehicle. Well, this is one of the only tuner vehicles which is all-wheel drive, but also features amazing lap time and handling. And because of that, it's almost a steal. For any of you that don't really partake in the prize ride challenges, maybe this is your reason to start doing so. Prize rides are great. This week, to get your hands on the Flash GT, a $1.7 million vehicle, all you need to do is place top 3 4 days in a row. I mean, that's literally 5 minutes of your life, and you got to do that, what, 4 days? And congrats, you've got your hands on another $2 million vehicle. The fact that the Sultan RS Classic is, what, 30% off, around $900,000 if you have the trade price, that's a really good deal, and definitely something I would say is worthwhile purchasing. Now we are inside of my agency, and the reason why is we have the other 2 vehicles located here. The first one being the Obey Omnis EGT. In fact, I own 2 Omnis EGTs, although I don't think this one's fully upgraded. It does have the armor paneling, but it doesn't look like I've done anything else to it. The Omnis EGT has a lot of customization, and honestly, I think it looks amazing. I love the look of this electric car. Now, I know some of you, oh, it's an electric vehicle, but quite honestly, this is one of the best electric cars in the game. Let's talk about what Amani Tech vehicles feature. First of all, massive amounts of survivability. This is an electric Amani Tech car, so not only does it get the normal stock standard 10 homing missiles of survivability, but it also features the ability to survive 10 sticky bombs. Yes, you heard that right. 10 sticky bombs, 10 RPGs. So in other words, you're virtually indestructible when it comes to explosions. Not only that, but you can also put on a missile lock-on jammer. So yeah, if somebody's trying to blow you up, they're not going to. That's really as basic as it is. I have never once been blown up in an Amani Tech vehicle, let alone an electric version, due to that insane survivability. Now, the only thing you really have to worry about in this vehicle is being shot through the glass because it's not bulletproof by any means. The next Amani Tech vehicle we'll be talking about is, but this one does not have any bulletproof glass. It does have slick mines though, which is kind of nice. I should mention, if you put slick mines on your Amani Tech vehicles, it stops them from being able to use it in time trials. But if you don't have slick mines on them, then you can use it in time trials. So something that you may not have known. But in general, the EGT is great. It's super fast on acceleration because it's an electric vehicle. In fact, it has some of the best acceleration in the game. While its top speed is only around 107 miles per hour, it has really enjoyable handling. It's a 4-seater, which means you can obviously do heist setups and everything else in it. In general, it's a really fun vehicle. As I mentioned, it has fantastic customization. Personally, I think it has some of the best liveries in the game as well, which is not the case of the vehicle we'll be talking about next. But if we actually make our way over to the livery options, we can see all the liveries here. It's got a bunch of liveries, 16 in total. You got some stripes and a bunch of different designs. You got this really cool Go Green, which I actually have on my PlayStation. I think this looks amazing if you have the proper color choice. We have the Toll Road Racer, and then I also really like the street style here. here. This livery paired with a white looks amazing. So this car has a lot of different customization you can fit it with, and because of that, I think it's an absolute beast. Let's make our way into the lower level, and then you'll be able to see the next vehicle, which is discounted this week. That one being the Patriot Mil-Spec. Now, the Patriot Mil-Spec has some advantages and some disadvantages over the Obey Ominous EGT. It has a lot of customization, honestly. Like, there is an insane amount of customization. You can completely change the way this thing looks. I mean, I can change out the trunk bed for to look more like a pickup truck. There's a lot of different customization. Not only that, it does have the same armor plating as the Obey Ominous, so you can survive upwards of 10 homing missiles, although sticky bombs you can only survive 4 of, which I find incredibly goofy. It doesn't even make sense to me why you can only survive 4 sticky bombs, because it's a Hummer. It's literally a military vehicle in real life, so I don't understand why Rockstar made this one a little bit less survivable. In terms of speed, this is actually the slowest Amani Tech vehicle in the game. It only reaches 96 miles per hour, but to be fair, it's understandable. It's a massive off-road vehicle, so it makes sense. When it comes to bullet resistance, this is actually pretty resistant. As we can see, all of the glass is semi-bulletproof. Unfortunately, both of these panes here do count as their own. They count as a full piece. But sides of the glass as well are completely bulletproof up to a certain extent, as we can see, which is really nice. It means that if anybody's trying to kill you, it's going to be very hard to actually cut through the Patriot Mil-Spec. And the reason I've put this back piece on the Mil-Spec, I know it looks kind of goofy to have this big old metal panel on the back, but what it does is it gives you massive survivability because it turns the entire rear of this vehicle into a bullet magnet, and it's completely bulletproof from the back. So in terms of bullet resistance, I would easily say that the Patriot Mil-Spec is one of the most resistant Amani Tech vehicles. It's also quite heavy, which means you can shove vehicles off the road, as we can see. And again, it does have a missile lock-on jammer. It can survive a lot of explosions. It's quite good on its grip because it is an off-road vehicle after all. So it definitely has some major strengths going for it as well. And it's fairly inexpensive. Its base price tag is around 1.3 million. And to get the trade price, which is the 1.3 mil, I think all you have to do is like 16 security contracts. If you own an agency and you haven't already done that, it's very easy to do, and I'd recommend to pick up those security contracts this week. And then you can get your hands on the Mil-Spec for less than $1 million with the 30% discount this week. I mean, that's incredible. This is a great vehicle. I think all 3 of these purchases this week are fantastic, and especially if you don't own the 2 Amani Tech vehicles, I would highly recommend to pick them up because you're just never really going to have to worry about being blown up in a public session. The EGT is definitely the better option of these 2. I would prefer a faster, more maneuverable vehicle. And while the Mil-Spec does have definitely more bullet resistance, let's be honest, we're in the day and age of missile firing, and I just feel like the EGT with its faster speed, acceleration, and overall capabilities is a better shout. But pick up both if you really don't have them. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more content like this, I'll see you all in the next one. Please consider smashing that subscribe button. And, yeah, bye-bye.